River City Church began in 2004. I was in seminary. Our family didn't have a salary. We were kind of trusting the Lord for what was next, and we didn't know what that was. And we got a phone call from Thad McNulty, who said, "We'd like to fly you and your wife over to London to experience this church that we've been a part of and what they're doing." I went over there and met John Peters, the pastor of the church, and I was just going on a weekend, a weekend away, like a life course weekend away like everyone else. And they started teaching on the Holy Spirit, and long story short was I ended up having this massive encounter with the Father's love. There was this dimension of my faith and of His heart and love for me that I'd never experienced before. Later that night, the pastor pulled me aside and said, "Hey, we think you're supposed to lead a church like ours in Jacksonville. We've been praying for 2 years to start a church like this, and we've looked at other leaders, but we feel like you're supposed to lead." Within 4 months, God had just blown open the doors, and we ended up moving into the apartment above that pastor with our 4 kids in the school system of England. And then we moved back in 6 months, and we met someone who was working at the City Rescue Mission, and they heard that we needed space. And the whole kind of advisory council or core group said, "This is where we want to do church." We were there for as long as we could have been, and then City Rescue Mission needed the space for some other ministries that they were starting, and we started to find a space to move into, and that led us to Belford. Luke 4:18 is where Jesus' public ministry has started. It's kind of His declaration of, "I've shown up, and this is what's going to happen. I'm about to bring my Father's kingdom," and it looks like those who are imprisoned are going to be set free. The afflicted are going to be healed, and the oppressed are going to find liberty. And that's what we're about as a church. One of the greatest blessings that I feel like we've been a part of is planting Ocean City Church. Having Derek and Beth come and be a part of our family. Them finding space at the beach, feeling God calling them to the beach, and prophetic words being spoken over them. And it's just been amazing for us to be used that way in their life, that God's transformed their family, their life, and now is transforming a whole community. Another exciting ministry that's happened in our church is the street corner ministry that started, and the prayer walk that's been developed, and just how that has been a place for people in our church to be in relationship and to love people that are different from them, to extend, to go beyond or outside of their comfort zone. Another ministry that's kind of gone out from the church that I love to talk about is our worship ministry. It's having an impact, to other churches, other Christians in other parts of the world. People listen to those songs, and it tells the story of our church. It ministers to them and blesses them, and it's been incredible that a little church like ours has been able to do as much as we have in that department. It's also been real exciting to know that we've had a number of people that have gone on full-time missions that have come out of our church, either the World Race or to YWAM or to initiatives in Africa and different parts of the world. When we moved from City Rescue Mission, the greatest fear we had was that we were going to lose our connection to the ministry we had with the poor community and the people who were hurting. And so we had to be more intentional about our ministry in that area. But it's been a struggle. It's been hard. And so as we move forward, are we going to move back into the community? We don't know. Do we want to be more involved in the community? Absolutely. We want to be a church that the city is blessed by. We want to be a church that works with our city to make it a place for healing and transformation. If our infancy, kind of the first 5 years of our church, was at the City Rescue Mission, where God was creating an identity within us that we are a church that's going to bring healing to the least, the last, and the lost, let's say. We've been in a season here where we've been maturing into adolescence, where He is teaching us His Word. He's growing us in our maturity. He's growing us deeper. He's strengthening us as a family. And we're not sure what that's going to look like, as we move forward. But what we know is, as He has grounded us and as He has grown us together in those areas, He's deepened our faith, created a greater desire to pursue Him and to love Him. We know that that will manifest itself in Jacksonville. Our church is hungry to bring what we've experienced and how we've been transformed into our city. And so I would say as we mature into adulthood, I have a sense that that's going to look like us taking what we've learned and what we've grown in and then sharing that with our city.